Ignatius, you sit at the center of financial institutions in the line of global markets. Could you share your reflections on this and response to Dr. Magara's presentation?
Ignatius, you need to unmute your mic.
Yes, I don't know if I'm clear now. Yes, thank you all, and thank you, Liz. Thanks to James, Dr. James, for the great words, as well as David for what they've shared so far, and much appreciation to the Institute for bringing this together for us. I think from my perception and what more or less Dr. James has said, it's just the overall point of having a cross culture of everything. From my side, where I sit, the financial institution and the global markets, you deal with quite multiple and cross-dimensional cultures and with different people across. And it's just one simple language that always brings you together. And that's something that Dr. James touched on, where we have to build a language, a common language where we can all speak and understand each other. And that's, for me, it's numbers where you are able to transact with someone or talk to someone, and it's just speaks to the numbers, understanding what someone needs to do or not. But beyond that, from the point of leadership and what that means, we've seen even from the banking industry, I think every bank may have its own culture, and that's something that underpins beyond just you as a person, knowing who you are and having that self-awareness. And that's one value that I would also really want to pin on in leadership. If you're having that value of being very self-aware of yourself, knowing that you are aware of exactly what is around you, what you can deal with, and at the same time having that empathy at the end of the day, knowing that you have to be very empathetic in whatever you do. Beyond that, the point of having the times that we're in, like what David had said, I don't want to emphasize much about it and just talk about it. He has pretty much talked about everything. But that even goes beyond, because you can't replace life with anything. But at the end of the day, we also have businesses that get impacted at the end of the day. That impacts us on our currency at the end of the day, how we transact, and also at the end of the day, what is going to be paid out to people, everyone who's working, someone who's trying to get the bread for the following day. And that speaks to much more the times we're in now, from the pandemic where it started from. And there's this known term called VUCA that speaks about much more the situation we're in now, that stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And that speaks to the times that we're in now, and something that we should be looking at by all means, to look at all the possibilities that may be there and prepare yourself for everything that could be there. I can tell you from my front that in Jan or last year, December, no one knew that maybe a global markets dealer could just work from home, or people at Wall Street could just go home and work from there. But I think it's the same thing that we've seen now. We've seen bankers before, which was never there, that now it's happening now. Everyone is able to go at home and work from there. And as we can see, that comes into so much what leadership means to that person and what values they hold as a person. Are you going to go at home and still maintain that culture of working hard and following up on your goals that you're supposed to achieve? And I feel like it's that time where everything is just, we just have to look at the 360 degrees of what leadership means. It may be different for different people, but the underlying factor is to know that there are some of the values that should really stick out, which comes from majorly being empathetic, having self-awareness, and speaking much more to understand each other, which is communication as well. I think that's it majorly from my side.